Hi everyone, let's talk about Come Together, which I've just finished a two-player playthrough for, and a solo playthrough will be coming up very soon. Hey, this might be the solo playthrough. Don't worry about all of that. Yes, this is coming out this Essen from Chili Fox Games, and yeah, you can see it all in action in those videos. This is just what I think about it if you're interested in that. If you are, hey, here goes. I absolutely love Come Together. It is phenomenal. I am pretty much, the 60s music theme, making a music festival. I really want more music themes in games in general. And yeah, it is just a very positive, lovely kind of vibe throughout the theme and the artwork itself. Massive plus for me in general. But what is the game like itself? The twist on worker placement, which is advertised, in all of the blurb and stuff, works really beautifully, as well as the kind of it's a very kind of shifting dynamic nature of everything, in that these 4 tiles here, they change every round, sure, but they are in different positions every game, giving you the same 16 worker placement spots, but they're going to be in different positions, making it more expensive, more desirable for certain types of cards, depending on the round, and always your circumstances and what the other people's are going for. So you are always torn between, how many workers is it going to cost me to place? What is my immediate bonus going to be? And which card am I eventually going to get? Because you are not just placing workers to get these cards. It can be very important, the bonuses that you're going to get and the timing of everything as well. Because it's great that you've always got a planning area that you start with some cards in, and it's all lovely. It's great that you can put cards in that planning area for when you need them later, but ideally you want them where they need to go straight away, so you don't have to waste time trying to get bonuses, trying to spend extra actions in the final round, putting these planning cards out. Yeah, you can never be sure at any of the play accounts when these things are exactly going to happen. So yeah, there's a lovely shifting thing between all of this. But on top of that, there is the activation action. There's the lovely worker placement stuff. You're placing all of this stuff. Retrieve your workers. There's some nice extra things there as well, extra twist. It's not just a wasted turn when you retrieve your workers back, because you've got the option. You can just spend your whole turn doing this, but you can have a new worker as well, so that you've got more for next time. Or you can give up one of those workers and place immediately. So you haven't wasted your turn, but you've got fewer workers now in the pool for the future. Or just take the number of workers you've got now and look at the top 3 cards of one of the decks and put them in your planning area. So you're not just tied to what's available, or maybe something you liked was out here, but you can't go there because you haven't got enough workers, or somebody is already placed in the spot that you want to go in. You have got some options around that, and it can make your turn when retrieving workers. It's not just like, oh, I take them back and that's it. Yes, but the activation as well adds so much kind of uncertainty and the tough decisions to that worker placement stuff, because it's not just about the timing of, I want this bonus first and then go and get this bonus, or, well, this is my top priority card, or like I kind of want this but I think you're going to go for it as well, so I need to go and do it first. On top of all of that, you're thinking about when activations can happen, both when you want them to happen, because if you make them happen, you've got control of which one activates, and which you will get the bonus at the top, which can be vital. Getting an extra worker, getting an extra track movement, or an extra attendee can be really vital to your plans. But at the same time, you need to be thinking about, when are other people going to activate? Can I afford to place workers this time? Because what if somebody else activates this place and I'm not even there? Everyone that's at a location gets the cards above their worker and gets to move along a certain combination of 2 of the tracks, which are all great to move up and in their various ways are going to be very, very vital to your success. Yeah, you want to be involved in there. You want a taste of it, because if you just have one worker there, maybe you don't even care about the card, but you'll get 4 track movement, which, depending on your situation, can be absolutely vital, can make a massive, massive difference. So you're trying to think about, like, well, I want to be in everywhere a little bit, but who's going to go next? Are you going to activate something? Do I need to do something about that? Both for being involved in the activation and getting some benefit about it, whether it's the perfect card or just some track movement, but also, how is this affecting how much time I've got left in the game? Because each round is determined not by the number of placements and things that we're doing, it's the number of activations. In a standard multiplayer game, it's going to be 6 activations. So the 6th one ends it. and it's going to be a new round. Everyone will get the cards where their workers are, but no more activations, and all of the displays are wiped clean for the new round. So a load of new more options out, but you can't plan too much ahead with the cards that are out on display. You need to get your workers out there this round. Getting them into planning will be fine. They'll stay there. But yeah, you can never be quite sure what is going to stay out there. You've got stuff on top of that, like the newspaper tiles for each round will give you a goal to work towards, like having, like, say, this one here that wants you to have a lot of meeples, a lot of attendees. That can give you more incentive to go and get more, but it also means that you're going to want to move along the newspaper track. Well, everyone always wants to move along a little bit. You have to judge, how much can you put up with the penalty, because not moving the first few spaces on your newspaper track is going to get you a penalty. Here it's lose 2 of your meeples and you won't get any points for the things. Later on, it can be much more punishing. That's lose a point for every meeple of the colour you have the most of. So how much of that can you cope with? Have you divided them quite evenly and you haven't got too many, so it's not really going to upset you too much, so you don't really have to worry about it. But getting to the top can give you so many points and some key rewards that might let you get extra people performing. It can, there's so many kind of little elements that can go into your strategy. It's not just as simple as just get a stage, get performers, get attendees in there. Well, it is kind of that simple, but there's a lot on top of that. It isn't necessarily about kind of churning them through as quickly as possible. It's about striking the right balance, being able to take these attendees into future rounds, depending on how far you've moved along this festival track and the cards that you've got available. That can really, really help you out. You don't need to get these cards as much later on. Same as the stages. Once you've filled up, do I need to go there anymore? Well, the bonuses could be vital. We might get better combinations. We might get cards that will give us loads of extra points for a certain colour attending a concert, and then you've got, like, if you can get 2 points for every pink attendee here, well, that's an extra 6 points just for the sake of going over here, and you would probably have gotten a nice bonus for going there as well. There are so many little things that kind of add up, along with a kind of air of uncertainty that's always in kind of worker placement anyway. That's like, you want to make sure that the thing's available for when you want it, and judge how much you need it versus how much you think other people might want it and take the space away from you, with this added kind of uncertainty from the activations itself. When that's going to be, is it going to be you that's doing it, and how fast is that accelerating the game itself? It works beautifully. That's 2 players that I've played it, but I also played it solo as well. Happy to say that it went pretty well in the solo playthrough. Not as well as it could have been. The friend got in the way. But yeah, the friend is great at tightening up the 2-player game, because every time you place in the middle 2 spaces of a location, you draw a couple of friend cards, and a friend worker will come in and block a space. If the location is already full, they'll activate the space. So that's good at replicating. You're never quite sure that you're going to have this thing in here but if you leave it completely full, you might want the friend to do it. You might not particularly care about the bonus that's out here at the moment, like gaining a worker when you already have all of them, or gaining a meeple when you don't need any and you haven't got any space to put them in. Then yeah, you might be hoping that someone else activates it, but the friend can hopefully take care of that for you sometimes. But of course, as with the multiplayer game, might activate a location at a completely terrible time, when only your opponent is going to get a benefit from the track and you weren't even in there. So yeah, there's risk of that as well. But in the solo game, taking alternate turns with the friend works beautifully. The game is, it's shorter anyway, because you're only making decisions for yourself, but only having 4 activations in this, being punished, losing 2 points every time the friend activates a location, which they will do either when a place is full or they are already in that location a couple of times. They will trigger the activation for that and end the game underneath your feet, ending each round before you're quite ready for it, activating these places where you aren't even present, so you won't get those track movements for them, and you need to get some fairly decent scores to be able to even call it a win. I think it strikes a lovely balance between having restrictions and having that risk of there not being enough time to get what you want done, rather than a wide open, just like, this is just the game with no players in it, have fun and just have a practice. It's more restrictive and challenging than that, but at the same time, I don't feel like the game is constantly rushing me along to the point where I can never build anything up and I can't really think about what I'm doing because, you know, I'm just in a constant state of panic all the time. I think it strikes a really lovely balance in between that in the solo. But yeah, I've loved it every time up to this point. You know, this is an early copy. I have had it about just over a week at this point because things need to be made fast for reasons. And I've played it at 5. This might be, the playthrough might have been the 6th time that I've played it in that time. So do what you will with that information. But hey, in general, the playthrough is there for you to see the game in action. The 2-player one will go up with this video and the solo one will be not far behind, probably next week. And yeah, hopefully seeing them will help you make up your mind of whether you would be interested in playing Come Together yourself. As for me, I absolutely love it and can't wait to keep playing and get the better ranks in the solo mode as well. And yeah, it's as well, I said earlier about the, you know, the art style and the lovely peace and love atmosphere. I love the, you know, the kind of parodies in the artwork of the artist, and the names of the artists are full of board game puns like Trudy Ages and stuff. Yeah, it's lovely and charming in that respect as well. But love it, love it, love it. Have a look at the playthroughs. Thanks a lot for watching, everyone, and I'll see you for the next game. Bye.